everyone, VJ32 back with another How to Play. Today we're looking at this game 5-3-5. You'll see why it's called that in a minute. This is a little ladder climbing, trick taking, setting card game, similar to other games that I've looked at recently and in the past. And I know what you're thinking, why do I need so many games that are basically the same? Well, this one actually has a bit of a twist to it, which we'll get to. You get the rules, you get a couple of double-sided reference cards, and you get the deck of cards. You also get these tokens, and this is for free to, 2 to 6 players, 15 to 30 minutes. There's different rules if you're playing just 2 people. I won't get into that. We'll stick to the more basic concept. You do get these tokens. There's a bunch of 1s. There is a few of the 3s, 5s, and 10s. And you get a deck of cards. It looks like this. Cards numbered 1 through 15. And it's a very interesting setup that makes it kind of unique. And if you're playing 2 to 4 players, you're going to remove 1 complete set of cards. 1 of each number. If you're playing 5 or 6 players, you use all the cards. The cards you get are the literal 5, 3, 5. So you get cards numbered 1 through 5. These are the rainy cards, the rain cards. And then you get 7 through 9. These are the cloudy cards. And then you get 11 through 15, which are the sunny cards. And all the cards have on them the value. There's a little soup symbol, if you will, and there is a point value. These are all 2 and 3. These are mostly 1, except for the 1 is actually 3 points. And these are all 1. The 8 is 5 points. It's the most valuable. It's also right in the middle. And there's some special rules regarding the 8. So I'll put these aside, and I'll show you the basics of the game. Now, the amount of cards you're going to get and use is dependent on the amount of players. So if we do a 4-player game, it's 12 cards each, and there will be 4 cards that will be undealt. So we're going to deal out 12 cards to each player. Just bear with me a sec. And 4 cards left over, we'll put them aside without looking at them. So there's 1 of 4 things you could do on your turn, essentially. Obviously, if you're the first person, you're going to lead with a meld. Now you can play, this is well dealt, you can play just a single card. And the next person would have to play something that is the same, but higher. So perhaps they would play a 9. Next player would do the same. Maybe they play 15. 15 is the highest card. So this guy would have to pass. He's not going to be able to beat 15. So on your turn, you can play a card, lead a card. You can overwrite that with a higher valued card, or you can pass. And this guy would have won this. We'll put this aside, and this guy would lead. And you can also play a pair or a 3 of a kind. Now this guy has 4 5s. He has all the 5s. He cannot play 4 at a time, but he could play 3. to this player, you have to play the exact same amount of cards, so he cannot play a pair. He also can't play four of a kind. He does not have anything that he can play. I lied. He has 3 sevens, so he will do that. And then I would play 3 12s. And then this guy, he will play 3 14s. And he's going to win. He's going to lead the next trick. We'll just quickly kind of go through this. Now you can also play, obviously you can play a pair. You can play a run of 2 or 3 cards. He doesn't have any runs to play. We'll just say he plays a 1. And this guy plays a 7, we'll say. And then comes to this guy, and he's going to play, let's say he plays the 8. Now the 8s are special. There is the rule of 8s. As soon as somebody plays an 8 to a trick, or adds an 8 to a trick, that ends the trick. So this guy wins the trick automatically. The only exception is if you were to lead with an 8 or a set of 8s. So if you lead with a 7, 8, 9, or a pair of 8s, or a single 8, and that does not end the trick immediately. So this guy's going to lead, and he's going to play, maybe he plays a 12 and a 13, so you can play a run like that. Now the runs are interesting. Now one thing you can do as well, you can add to this. I cannot. The runs are interesting. While when you're playing a single card, a pair, or 3 of a kind, you must beat it with a higher number. When you're doing runs, it is the opposite. So a 12 and 13 is actually low. I cannot. I can play this 4-3. This 4-3 actually beats it because this is technically higher. It's the reverse. This guy's going to pass. And this guy, can he play lower than that? He cannot. So he's going to pass. And it comes to this guy. Can he beat that? He cannot. Should have organized these cards better at the start. So I'm going to win that. Let's see what else we can do. So I'm going to play a pair of 3s. So this guy can, if he wants, he doesn't have a pair. Well, he does have a pair, but he can actually add on to that, make that 3 3s. And this guy is going to pass. This guy will also pass. Doesn't have a 3 of a kind. And I have to pass. And then that's it. So once a round ends, once one of a couple of things happen. One, it'll end once all but one person have passed. All copies of that number are in the central melt. So if there's 4 3s here, that's it. You can add another 3 on there if you want. If it's 5 players, you can have up to 5 cards. A run of 5 cards is in the central melt, so you can go up to a run of 5, but you can only play 3 cards maximum at a time. Or, of course, an 8 is played. In this case, none of that happened. The only thing that happened was everyone passed, so hopefully that kind of makes some sense. So you're going to be playing a melt to the central melt. You can play a single card, a pair, 3 of a kind, a run of 2 or 3. The next person has to play a higher melt, or they can add on to the existing melt. So if I were to play 15, this guy, he can't add anything to it. Everyone's going to pass. That guy's going to pass. This guy's going to add a 14 and a 13 to that run because he can. He can make it a run. And this guy passes. It comes to me. I have to pass. This guy also passes because there is one thing I didn't mention specifically, but you probably noticed, is that in this game there are no 6s and there are no 10s. So you got the 1 through 5, 7, 8, 9, and 11 through 15. So the 7, 8, 9 can only be run by itself with those 3 cards. And then the 5 cards at the bottom can be run as a max, and then the 5 at the end can be a max as well. So 11 through 15. So kind of interesting. So you can see it's an interesting trick-taking game. This guy won that, I believe. He's going to play a pair of 11s. Well, let's continue through this and show you the scoring. This guy adds an 11. This guy passes. I have to pass. Yeah. So that guy won it. He's going to lead. He's going to play a 4 and a 5. This guy has to pass, for better or worse. I have to pass, and this guy passes. This guy now plays a 2. Four. I will pass. This guy plays a 13, and this guy passes. So, and this guy says, you know what, I'll play a 15, and he is going to win this trick because everyone else is going to pass. So he's going to lead. Maybe he plays a pair of 9s. I have to pass, unfortunately. This guy passes, and this guy passes. This guy will play a 2. I have to pass, unfortunately. This guy says, you know what, screw it. He's going to end it with an 8, and then he plays a pair of 8s, and he goes out, and that is it. So, for scoring purposes, this guy has 2, so he's going to get 2. This guy has 3, so he's going to get 3. And I have 9, which is terrible. So I would get 9. And this guy would get 0. And you're going to keep playing until you achieve a certain score. Which is 20 or more points. So once somebody hits 20 points, let's say I get to 20 points, game ends. Whoever has the least amount of points at that time wins the game, which if it was now, it would be this guy. So that's it. It's pretty basic. If there is a tie, whoever has the fewest cards left in the hand will be a winner. If there's still a tie, you just serve a victory, which is not my favorite thing. So again, the things you can do in your turn: A, you're going to lead by playing a card to start off the trick. B, you can overwrite that by playing a higher valued card or meld. C, you can add to an existing meld. So if there's a pair of 3s, you can add another 3. If there's a run, you can add to it to a max of 5 cards. Or if you cannot or do not want to do anything, you pass. And you're going to continue until all but one player has passed, or you've played 8s to end the trick, or you have reached the maximum cards you can play in that meld. And yeah, you keep playing until somebody has played all the cards. Everyone else is going to get points for the cards on their cards, for the value on the cards, the cards on the cards. And that is that. It's a pretty interesting trick-taking game, or a ladder climbing setting trick-taking game. Definitely unique compared to other similar games that I have. And I like it. The quality is pretty good. This was originally a Japan release a few years ago. And this past year on Kickstarter, Portland Game Collective brought it to the West, which I'm very happy about. And they have another game that I'm going to be looking at soon as well. To be on the lookout for that. And that's that. Comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think. We'll see you next time for more. Thanks for watching. I like it. See ya.